one of the biggest reality stars on the planet, Kim Kardashian, has told a French trial she thought she was going to die while being held at gunpoint during a 2016 jewellery heist. Cyan Valance has been following the day's events from London. Good morning to you. Take us through the details of this case, Cyan.
Good morning, Bridget. Well, it's hard to believe this was almost a decade ago. It happened in October 2016 when Kim Kardashian was in Paris for Fashion Week, and she was alone in her hotel room when two people dressed as police officers burst into her room, tied her up and robbed her at gunpoint of around $15 million worth of jewellery. So she arrived at court today with her mum, Kris Jenner, and surrounded by security. She's walked in to testify in the trial of 10 people who are accused of plotting and carrying out this crime. 2 of them have confessed to their roles, 8 of them pleading not guilty, saying they had absolutely nothing to do with it. And so she was on the stand for more than 5 hours this afternoon, getting really quite emotional at times, tearing up as she explained exactly what happened, saying that, you know, she was tied up and had a gun pointed at her head. She said she thought she was absolutely going to die, and even that she thought they might be terrorists, because you have to keep in mind this was only a few months after the Nice terror attacks, and so with absolutely no context she was just terrified, left there tied up, and then her mouth was covered and her eyes. They left her in the bathroom and took off with $15 million worth of her jewellery. And she was then asked about the impact on her life. She says that the trauma was unbelievable. It's changed her life forever. She now has security with her wherever she goes, and it's really just changed the way that she sees the world, especially now she's more protective of her children and she uses social media very differently. Her lawyer spoke after she gave her evidence in court. Take a listen to what he had to say.
I think it was, you know, a heroic effort on her part. Obviously, she testified this was a devastating experience for her. It fundamentally changed the arc of her life and the way she's lived her life ever since.
And Cyan, Kim also forgave one of the men in court today. What did she say?
Well, as I said, 2 of those 10 accused are agreeing to their role in the heist, and one of them actually submitted a letter of apology to the judge. That was read out in court today, and Kim Kardashian cried as she heard the details. He apologised and asked for forgiveness, and she cried and said that she accepts the apology, that she forgives him, but that nothing can change the trauma or the way that her life has changed forever. A couple of the other defendants also stood up. One of them apologised and asked for forgiveness. That's the other man who has admitted that he had a role in this, but he didn't write a letter. He actually wrote a book called I Held Up Kim Kardashian that's been published since, and she said she was shocked when she found that out because it was so traumatising for her. She couldn't believe that somebody had published a book about this. But she says all in all, testifying in court today was a good thing for her, and that it's helped her sort of find some closure after all of these years, because not only is it the trauma of what's happened, but she got trolled quite a lot on social media from people who said they don't even believe that this happened to her, that she was making it up for television ratings. And she said when she found that out, that sort of speculation really stung deeply. So having her day in court, she feels like she's getting a bit of closure and now can hopefully move on. Of course, she is pursuing her own legal career. She wants to be a lawyer and recently finished some of those studies. So she says now she wants to move on and achieve justice for others.